morning, everyone. Good morning, Callum.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. I'm as good as I can be, of course. Busy week, very serious week in the world, so feeling quite lucky.
Very, very serious, very crazy, and I'm not that far away from all of that madness that is happening, and that's crazy. And we've been talking before going live here. That's it's very strange times we're living in, and especially that all of us thought that we are in the modern 21st century world when things like that are not happening that close to us and not affect us directly. And now even some of our Umbracians are directly affected, and yeah, that's sad, and let's hopefully hope that it will end up as soon as it's possible, and everyone will be okay. And yeah, that's crazy world. And hello everyone. And Carl, what are you doing here? That's another point on the agenda. We were admiring your holiday pictures yesterday, and you're here.
Damn. Needs a bit of space from the kids or something.
Yeah, everyone needs to have a space, time off. I just saw an interesting message yesterday that it again, all of these situations on the world, COVID and everything, just made us feel more stuff, and hopefully just slow down for a little and admire what we are doing, where we are, what is affecting us directly and what is not affecting us directly, what we can change, etc. So let's hopefully everyone have a minute for us all to reconsider and refocus our lives, and that's my at least point on the agenda for this week. And yeah, good morning everyone. Umbraco wise, we have also a lot of things happening. From where we can start, probably also from the one of the biggest announcements this week about a long time support release for Umbraco 8.18. That was released
the last ever Umbraco 8 minor release, which is a big deal. It feels like it's been around a really long time, but if you think about it, almost to the day, it's 3 years old.
Yeah.
So it came out, I think,
3 years.
20 something of February. Completely unexpected. No one knew it was going to happen. But it was the
magic button click.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, 110 features and improvements and fixes included. So that obviously speaks more for why it was also postponed. There were a lot of things that were added to really be included inside of the last minor release of Umbraco 8. And yeah, I think that this 3 year also proves that it's a really big project itself. It's just one major. But it's a very long major, and we are all know now that it won't be that long for another one, at least from the plans and visions up front. So yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of features that we were tackling and discussing multiple times. I think we don't need to focus on single one of them.
A lot of stuff being backported here from V9 1 and 2. So it's kind of, I was talking to someone this week and they said, what's the benefit of using V9 over V8? And I said, well, feature-wise, not that much actually. They're feature equal. The difference you'll see is, of course, in the stability and the performance, in having all of the newer .NET 5 benefits. But it's quite good that up until now they've kept them almost feature identical. Of course, that's going to stop. But it kind of means that if you were to upgrade from the latest 8 to the latest 9, your users shouldn't notice a thing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and also the most important probably information for all of us is like about support phase and security phase for both of them for the same release. So Umbraco 8.19 will continue to receive patches if there will be any, and in the next 2 years, and same with the security phase in overall. So if there will be any exposures, any security vulnerabilities found, of course the V8 also will receive them as a patch release. And yeah, that's the time for upgrading. I really think that it's a very massive release. A lot of things that are changed since the last one, and also a lot of contributions included here. And yeah, it just makes this last V8 very, very, very packed with a lot of great stuff. And Callum, also your 2 PRs are included.
Yeah, I got 2 PRs. I didn't know that. I also got a load of rejection emails this week. I don't know about anyone else.
Cleanups.
Yeah, loads of PRs that I had open that maybe had a bit of feedback on that just didn't get addressed, or that never really got reviewed and so didn't get merged in. However, I've made it my goal for next week to go and retarget some of them to V9, because I know that a few of them are still very relevant and valuable. So yeah, I'm going to put a bit of time aside early next week to try and do that. Fingers crossed. And you're just saying that number of contributions. That's incredible from someone like Jan. I know that
26 PRs. Damn.
Yeah, I know. So I know that Eric Jan, who's also in the chat. Hello. He's absolutely on fire at the moment with regards to contributing as well. So it's really incredible to see how much stuff people put into Umbraco.
Yeah, so cool. Let's get our hands on to this release, upgrade all the 8 outstanding projects to this version. And again, I'm catching myself really often recently in discussions of, is it V8 project or V9 project? I can't say from the quick overview of this one. So it's really cool to migrate and work simultaneously sometimes in the projects. But yeah, the links to the descriptions of the post we discussed will be, of course, in the video description, so you can go there if you've missed this and check it out on your own. Cloud is next on the agenda. Rune shared an update from the Cloud team, and of course this team is also busy and delivering a lot of new stuff across the project, and new features like different references, new overview page, general GraphQL support for the eyedropper color picker as well, and eyedropper color picker support for Heartcore, as you've mentioned in the notes. A lot of new features. I'm not a heavy Cloud user recently. We still have one project somewhere there for our festivals listing, but I didn't check it for a while.
Yeah, we've got a few, and a lot of these I've seen directly and been using, so that's fantastic. There's a lot of work that's been going into the portal in the past couple of weeks. Pretty much every time I've logged in, there's been something kind of new there, which is cool. And yeah, it's good to see that it's actually got some momentum. It was previously maybe a little underloved, shall we say. Yeah. The stuff that's in the up next, or in now and up next as well, is really exciting for us, because regional hosting, I know they're going to start with the US with a goal of having that in place middle of this year, which is really exciting. But static IPs, this came up in a conversation with someone this week, where it's like, can we IP whitelist something for the cloud site? Well, not really, because we don't know what IP address it has. So yeah, this will be fantastic too.
Yeah, that will also allow to put some services on top of the cloud's application services, what might help to do many more crazy stuff on top of it. And yeah, customizable project overviews, content comparisons, a lot of interesting stuff. And what is it? New in later technical partner trials. So yeah.
So this is fantastic. I could talk for hours on this. I know that I've talked some people at HQ.
You've become a DXP expert, Callum, now. That's the thing.
This isn't DXP.
You asked so many times about DXP that
this is exciting. The idea that you could just have a button where in their app store you could click and say, hey, I want a trial of vendor or something, and it will spin that up on a cloud project, and you're good to go. There's a few things I think that help make this puzzle a bit more complete. Still need to happen, but it's really exciting that this is in the roadmap, at least something that they want to do.
Cool. So yeah, that's exciting. So all the cloud users and potential considerators of using cloud for projects can check it out and benefit from it. And it's all out there already, because it's a SaaS product, so everyone can benefit from it upfront. Non-SaaS related release is also delivered this week, and this is 9.3.1, released on Tuesday. We've been talking about it last week. There are some bug fixes fixed in this patch release, and it's just got better. And this is the most recent, the most fresh Umbraco CMS version. So let's check it out, and also expect new, more exciting things upcoming next. And package-wise, we had a couple cool package releases this week.
So it was
Starting
the release,
from
it was the week for packages, wasn't it?
yeah, package week. Starting from Patrick, who documented a way of releasing this one very well. We've been highlighting some of the blog posts and challenges Patrick was facing, and now the beta release of UCO Toolkit for Umbraco is out. So yeah, we can test what we were reading about all of this time. And yeah, that's a great achievement. So kudos to Patrick and congrats on releasing this one. And there's also already some issues aligned to work on next. And I will speak for Patrick here. Probably all the contributions are wanted. So if anyone wants to help and be a part of this package, yeah, there is a room for helping Patrick and the rest of the project up here. I haven't checked it yet, but it looked already interesting from even blog posts. So really good work here. And the next one is another interesting and big project from Kenneth here and Vertica team called Vertica Umbraco Headless Framework. And that's a massive one. There's even a shortcut version of the name for the package, and it's a headless framework for V9 Umbraco website with a full support for querying, getting and rendering and a lot of other stuff with the API on top of the Umbraco content system. I haven't checked the exact implementation yet, but I saw a lot of excitement about this one. Callum, did you check anything maybe deeper here?
Yeah, this only dropped last night, didn't it? But definitely there was a lot of excitement around it. And it's something that people always come back to, isn't it? Of course, if we look back, I think it was 2016, maybe even earlier, that we had the Umbraco REST API project that Shannon started and HQ kind of adopted and then dropped a bit later when Heartcore came along. It was the foundation initially for the Heartcore project as well.
Headrest before by Matt.
Headrest as well. Yeah, people have had this need for a long time, and every so often a new solution comes along, and I don't know, do people pick them up? I'm not sure. We always build our APIs for ourselves. However, there's always a lack of standardization across projects and things. So I can see why having like a library that does most of the stuff just does really make sense, and it looks like it's really, really cleanly implemented. So that's cool as well.
Yeah, and also Bjarke here shared that he explored it a little bit more, and there is a lot of cool features inside of it. And I'm really taking a look on it because I'm currently exploring the internal our team's headless implementations that is also standardized very, very much. And another every new implementation, every new client content API is just something what we really want to take a look at, because if someone maybe done it better, maybe done it different, that we can also adapt and take some lessons from, that's always amazing. And I'm sure that Kenneth and his team's skills and his skills can provide a lot of interesting stuff here. And this one is very interesting for example, for the open API support here. Yeah, definitely a great piece of work. And I saw, Soren, who is also with us here today, I shared an image of a package award statue that maybe Kenneth is aiming for. So I mean, who knows if it's not related with submissions that are
the amount of excitement that this generated. I think there's going to be a lot of people going and giving it a go and hopefully using it in their projects. So maybe come June, when Code Garden happens, maybe it's going to have picked up enough interest that people vote for it in the package awards. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. I would love to see some demos on how it can be used, maybe more use case oriented approaches, because technically I'm sure it's amazing. It's more about how we can use it, how they use it, how the teams are using it. So that's always what excites me the most. But it looks like an amazing piece of work. Kudos to Kenneth and the rest of the team for doing it and sharing it open source. That's another part of it. So yeah, let's explore. Let's use it and break it at some point as well. And
I have to say as well, I love the fact, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but it's got 9 commits. It's a huge project. It's got 9 commits, and let's check that. Like, let's just open source something because it's really cool. Yeah. You want to use it. Those like initial commits and stuff are going to be just drop all the files in one, and then it's documentation. get your CI pipeline working, all that sort of stuff. That's the tale of every open source project that gets released. It's funny.
I still remember how I was searching for the Git commands to clear the history of the commits. That's another way. If you are having your internal projects, your commit messages might not be worth publishing sometimes, and then you search how to replace it all with initial commit on GitHub, for example. But yeah, that's a really cool story. Let's explore that one for sure. Another is from Warren, and this is a new release of Tag Helpers. It's a version 0.6.0, and it has some new features. You've listed them out. It's active class for adding classes.
This is when you're rendering like a navigation or something, and you want to say this is the current selected item, highlight it with a class or something, and it will. You'd always have to do the whole check the current Umbraco assigned content item. Does it match the one I'm looping over? And this just does it, which is really handy.
Yeah, this is it, right? This our active class. Nice. Yeah, very handy. I haven't used it yet for anything, but it seems like it solves a lot of complexity by hiding it behind this abstraction. So really cool stuff. And there's a video.
I'm not sure how I feel about the hour prefix on all of these personally. I think I prefer umb or something, but I guess that's kind of reserved for core stuff internally inside Umbraco. I don't know. That a lot of these really are candidates for the core anyway. But I've not used it. We've only ever really seen it as part of umbraCoffee, and on the few being shared around. But
if there's someone who is using it, let us know how you find it and how it helped or not helped, if there's a case for your implementations. That would be really good feedback to understand if it's something what maybe we need to all invest more time in, and maybe we need to extend it with some other examples like that are easy to replicate and simplify.
And there's so many that there should be the kind of helper classes that we all ship around in all of our projects that probably would be really easy to just chuck in here. So
yeah, that's true. Next one is from Skybrat and Anders. Skybrat Umbraco Redirects V3 Alpha 008. I love this naming. So there is a new alpha release for Umbraco 9. And information that is important here is that it won't work on older versions of Umbraco, so it's important. But there's a lot of changes and issues fixed here. I hope that at this stage and this stage of umbraCoffee, 214 episodes, we don't need to explore and explain what the package does. We've mentioned it so many times. Hopefully everyone knows that. It has a lot of really new stuff. Added some new UI features.
Why this is still in alpha, because there's some great stuff being added to it. But we've been using it since alpha, like 1 in production, and it works great. So maybe it's time.
I don't know, but it's really cool too.
Great things, and you can. There's no guarantees. You're not really going to support it or take issues, perhaps. But
it always stands out in the list of. In the list of installed packages, so maybe that's also a way of standing out from different list of packages. But it's really cool, really useful package, handling redirects in Umbraco. Can't imagine life without it, to be honest. So that's amazing work. Check out the new version. And the next one is from Paul Seal. It's a dashboard, a content app that Paul was teasing us about for a while. I don't know that this one was hacked in some of the Umbrac collab sessions.
I think it was an Umbrac collab from last week, and he basically took the directive that renders a result in the examine manager dashboard and moved that into a context app, whatever you want to call them. So you could see in line exactly the document, which I think is fantastic. Makes loads of sense. I'm not sure. I don't know if it belongs in a content app or if it maybe would be better as like a menu action or something. You could click and then the dialogue would come out. I don't know, but definitely there's a use case for it.
Again,
it's never nice. It's never nice being able to go and having to go find a node in that dashboard.
And content apps has permissions access, right? So we can say, because whenever I was always thinking about content apps, it was like, okay, should editors see it, and should it be visible for editors? But right now we can enable it only for developers, for example, only for people who has higher privilege access, and then that's fine then. Still. So yeah, it has its use case. I believe it helped in finding some cool and helped in some cool debug sessions for sure. Yeah, so it's interesting, and still, I think many people will use it for sure. So thanks for sharing it, Paul. The next one and last from the packages list probably is
this one's juicy. I like this one. I really like this one.
Oh yeah,
so this hasn't been promoted anywhere. We just found it on Our, and we're going to talk about it. Sorry, Anders.
If it is supposed to be hidden, tell us, but it's too late already.
Well, it's on NuGet, so that's fine. But they have a custom models builder, which I've always wondered whether anyone else would do this, because I know
we have a custom one as well.
Yeah, originally the models builder that existed was a kind of very full featured one, and didn't exactly come across to Umbraco 8 properly, and Umbraco 8, when it brought models builder into core in 8.5, stripped a load of features back. People want more advanced stuff, but people also want some more maybe some different, more opinionated settings for their projects. And so I've always wondered when someone would properly do a custom one with opinionated decisions and stuff. So it's very cool to see that they've done that, and for V9 as well. So they're supporting a lot of the original power features that existed in the original models builder in V9 with this version. Interesting.
Plus some more, right? Plus
and
some more
because
for example, notifications about model changes and all the other stuff that I particularly didn't catch up yet. It has its potential, and again, Anders and Limbo team, we know. We already can expect the quality work from the team out there. So definitely, it's something what we need to keep an eye on. And as you mentioned, many companies try to approach the same issue with a lack of fully featured models builder and support for it back in the days. And there are so many other implementations, and similar as with the Headless Framework, to be honest, I will need to keep an eye more here and see what challenges Anders and the team were facing here, and where we can benefit from it, plus maybe where we can contribute back to, because I believe that many of us and many of our teams also suffered from various issues with generating models and generating stuff automatically for sure. So yeah, interesting one. Great finding, Callum, to be honest. So that's a good one. And people, again, a call to action. If you watch us right now and you've done something similar, share your experiences here or with Anders or with the package issues section as well, because that will be very useful for us all.
I really love seeing people extend bits of Umbraco that probably shouldn't be extended, because we do this all the time, and I love it.
Yeah.
I really love it. So yeah, let us know.
It should be a special category of Umbraco Awards. That the most hacky extension, like the most hacky replacement of something internal. Yeah, we would definitely participate in it. Speaking about awards and events, there is another section that we want to explore today. To remind us all, myself included, everyone else included, that there is not so much time left for call for speakers and part of Umbraco Code Garden this year. 3rd March, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. So tell yourself the deadline's the 2nd, because everyone will miss that if they go and try and apply.
Today or Monday, and that's the honest answer.
Yeah, realistically.
I'm curious how many applications were already submitted. There was a session yesterday. Yeah, yesterday for did you attend, maybe, Callum?
I didn't. I know a couple of the team did. I did not.
Okay. Because I saw some discussions. Probably Dennis was the one who started the question of if it's a hybrid event, will it also apply to speakers? So can speakers join virtually? And the answer was yes. And so there is an opportunity to join virtually as a speaker, and that
it might be addressed somewhere in here. They basically said the preference would be that speakers are in person in Denmark, but they'll accommodate where that's not possible.
Maybe I haven't read it yet, so that might be the case. But that, in my understanding, it brings a lot of more opportunities for great talks to be submitted.
Yeah.
Plus, for us as an attendees, even if it will be physically or remotely, it gives us more quality talks to probably look at. So that's a great stuff. So yeah, if no one, if you didn't know that there is an option to join virtually, also as a speaker, now you know, and please submit your ideas for the talks until the deadline ends. Really soon.
One, you're limited to 2, which is tough. And in previous years, I've always struggled to choose between 2. And this year, more than ever, my motivation is lacking on a lot of things. A combination of, being incredibly busy and not doing so many like new projects anymore, but also just I think the general situation globally. So I've got one that I think is a really strong idea. I need to think up a second one. And of course, I've not done anything about submitting that yet. So let's see.
Yeah, that's ongoing process on my end as well. I have a chat today about the ideation sessions as well. But yeah, let's remind it all for all of us again. Yeah, it's worth reminding. Let's submit some ideas and then benefit from learning from each other. What is the final goal of it all? About learning from another sources. Callum, you are talking on March Glasgow.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a talk on Tuesday.
What is, of course, prepared? You have everything ready, right?
Well, it's a lot. It's going to be much more informal. I'm just going to have a little chat about some stuff I've been doing with packages, which I'm hoping to do some releases next week, which will be exciting. But yeah, Glasgow meetup, first of the year, I believe. Tuesday, 7:30, virtual, so anyone can turn up. Link will be down below to sign.
Awesome. The next one is Umbraco Leeds meetup that is happening on March 3rd.
Thursday.
And the speaker to be announced, to be continued. And yeah, that's another one on the next week. Also virtual. Yep.
I don't know.
Or it's in person. That's interesting.
It just says Leeds.
No one
doesn't have an address.
No one knows. No one knows. If someone from the Leeds team is watching us, tell us. We can highlight it later on. But this is happening next week. And last but not least, from the meetups in the upcoming time, it's the Kent Umbraco meetup that we were talking about last week. It's happening in the Yo-Yo office, and yeah, that's this one. We'll definitely bring back more.
There's a couple other meetups actually happening in between. Somewhere there's a Umbraco Navi meetup, which is the one based in India, and I think they've got a talk on Visual Studio structure that's happening next Saturday. There's going to be a London meetup somewhere in the mix there as well. I know that there's an Edinburgh meetup coming up towards the end of March. There's quite a few coming up, so too many to list here.
Yeah, so we need to focus on the upcoming week only, probably, and then just remind us all that they are happening. We spoke about Umbrac Awards, and this is yet another reminder for Umbrac Awards. What is the deadline? I can't remember now.
15th of May. That's
May
a long 15th. Way off.
Yeah,
but you've got to get thinking about it because, as we discussed last week, it's a lot more effort than you think to produce a really high quality submission. So get thinking about it now. We had a chat yesterday with a client about potentially submitting their project. Sounds like that's all good to go. So hopefully we'll get that one in progress now. We can submit it.
Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, another opportunity to share the knowledge and the great work. And last from this section is Code Cabin. And another reminder that applications are open till the Friday of 8th July, so still plenty of time. But yeah, it's a very hot topic now, and everyone can prepare as well. It's because of the logistics of this specific event. It's worth prepare upfront. And maybe to just close the topics of meetups, a great summary here from Trina of February meetups. So all of them were gathered, listed, and reviewed by some community members, some people who attended. I really like this one because it can be a quick catch up of what we missed, especially if we really missed them. So yeah, definitely that's something what will be helpful in terms of gathering knowledge and findings and takeaways from the meetups in general.
Indeed.
And last item on our list: 24 days and 2 new videos and audio readings of articles from the day 13 and 14 of 24 days. Oh, it started playing in my ear. Yeah, it's 6 views. I haven't checked how many people really watched some of these ones.
It's a good
Let's
question.
check it now.
It's a good question because you'd be surprised how much money goes into things like recording conference talks and events, and people go, "Oh, I'd love this in an audio form, or I'd love to be able to watch this back." And the number of people that actually do is often quite low. It's very nice
64.
to have them there, but
yeah,
the amount of effort and cost and time that goes into that and maintaining that, people don't always appreciate. So if you do want them, go watch them. If you don't ask for them in the first place.
Exactly. There's still, this is a trial run for 24 days team, and it will be definitely analyzed later on if it's worth doing year by year, or maybe use tools for it. I have seen the tool today. Let me see if I will find it, because that might be interesting case that is reading a text and WordPress blogs automatically for us. So I will find the name for it. And to be honest, I'm subscribed for the newsletter that has this that has its audio version automatically done with this tool. And I listened to it for today for the first time, and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. So that's the AI.
Are you saying we don't need to bother turning up each week, Marcin? We can just feed a list of links into an AI and it can speak.
You've read it between the lines. Yeah, but still, I think, and maybe our viewers will confirm or not, but it will be boring without all of my Ponglish mistakes of English and all of the,
I'm sure we could, if we trained Marcin, if we trained an AI on the existing
with my voice,
episodes, with your voice, it might learn the mistakes, and then it's all good.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I found this tool. It's called Hear Me AI. Oh, and I'm sharing, of course, the wrong screen. Stop and share screen. It's called Hear Me AI. Convert your WordPress into a podcast. That's the text of it, but it has more features than that, and I don't know if I already closed it. Yeah, I closed it. So it was reading the newsletter for me, and all the newsletter was read in the plain language. It was Polish in this case, but as you can see here, it also supports the other languages. Interesting usage of AI, and again, it might be less problematic and definitely less time consuming, cost consuming in terms of recording videos or audios like this, because we all know how hard it is to do it, even if you are a native English speaker who reads the article. I believe both Paul and Lottie had a lot of cuts and issues with recording this one. So AI doesn't have this problem. So that's the beauty of it.
This looks very cool. It will do it as an Alexa flash briefing. It will do them as a embeddable thing on your website or as a podcast and distribute it for you. That's pretty sweet.
And there's a lot of tools like that. I'm exploring them constantly. I'm still confident that we won't be replaced by AI soon, but it's getting more and more interesting.
I don't know if we spoke about this on a previous umbraCoffee, but I think it was there was a video I saw on YouTube of an engineer who virtually attended meetings for a whole week and didn't didn't do anything, didn't need to do anything to kind of have a presence in these meetings. He just had a video clip on a loop there that would sort of play, and then you have different audio things that he could cue, different frames he could cue when he needed to respond to something. No, nothing from me. And then like, and then at the end of the week, he revealed, I've not actually been in any of the meetings this week. It's brilliant.
Yeah, but again, if it's trained, it can train our goods and bads. That's the danger. And I still have a book in my wish list by Mo Gaudat. I don't know if you know the guy.
Yeah.
He used to work with Google in the Google AI teams, and at some point he was discussing the AI and said that he is scared right now because AI can learn both, as I said, good and bad things. And what if AI can predict everything, and right now, let's say our world is in danger, and if AI will decide if we are responding with A or B scenario, AI can choose better than we as humans, and we would be already in a huge or bigger danger even than we are in now. Scary times, exciting times at the same time. But people, if you have anything interesting AI related, and maybe something what we should be either scared of or interested of, tell us more. And yeah, as usual, leave any comments, any interactions down below. Like, subscribe, share. I don't know, Callum, if you want to establish any goals for us, but
yeah, we should be saying goals. Those worked really well for us when we put pressure on people. We threatened to not do any more umbraCoffees until someone has agreed to get us to a few more subscribers. I don't know.
Yeah, we have 726 or more subscribers.
727. We really want to hit 1,000. Don't we?
Aim high. 1,000 subscribers to Code Garden.
Yeah, by Code Garden. Okay, sure. I wonder if is it Code Garden yet? Website's up. Is it Code Garden? Yeah.
I will need to create multiple email addresses.
It is not.
Is it
no?
Not? Oh.
So
I don't know if Jan was in charge of this.
I think it was Jan. I think Jan needs to update that. So then we can have a countdown. Is it Code Garden yet? And has umbraCoffee hit 1,000 subscribers yet?
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it will be easier than we think. If you are here and if you see red button down below now, it cannot stay red. Just click it. It will turn into gray, and we are fine. That's the way how it is. No, we are not proper YouTubers yet. But yeah, thanks for every single subscribe. Thanks for every single interaction. If you found it useful and valuable for you, share it with your team or whoever else wants to be up to date with Umbraco news, because we will be doing them every week, and we will see each other next week. What will be really, really interesting one.
Yeah.
And we know it already. Cool. Anything else to add, Callum?
I don't think so. Just everyone to stay safe, stay well, and happy, and let's see each other next week.
Yep. See you next week, everyone. Have a good weekend.